Hello there, my name is Sandy Gui and this is your 5 p.m. English news on TVS. Let's dive into the news. Male students with long hair who will be attending school to sit for the Sijil Pelajaran Malaysia or Sijil Tinggi Pelajaran Malaysia 2020 and 2021 during the MCO will be given flexibility. Senior Minister for Security Cluster Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob said the matter was decided in a special session of the National Security Council, MKN, which agreed that no action would be taken against long-haired students.
Meanwhile, Ismail Sabri said the economic sector involving barbershops in affected areas was still closed for 2 weeks, and this rule would be evaluated by the Health Ministry depending on the situation during the COVID-19 pandemic. In addition, during a press conference, Ismail Sabri said institutions of higher learning or schools should not impose conditions on students to undergo COVID-19 screening tests in order to enter dormitories or to sit for examinations except for students with symptoms. He said this after a complaint about the issue that students have to bear the cost of the COVID-19 test screenings.
Right. The Sarawak Health Department will continue to conduct aggressive COVID-19 close contact tracing, especially among those linked to the Pasai cluster in Cebu.
Dato' Amar Douglas Uggah, who is also Deputy Chief Minister, said with the number of cases increasing, the state expects to face some quarantine center capacity issue. On COVID-19 screening, he said besides getting the help of private laboratories, the objective is to obtain results in less than 24 hours.
COVID-19 patients awaiting a call from the Ministry of Health MOH can now report themselves via the MySujatra application. Health Director General Tan Sri Dr. Noor Hisham Abdullah said the application was being upgraded and enhanced to better manage the outbreak, as well as to meet the needs of users in the effort to break the chain of infection in the community.
He added users registered as positive cases at the MOH Crisis Preparedness and Response Center would also receive notifications via SMS and via the MySujatra application. Additionally, users would also get advice and follow-up plans for self-assessment as well as reminders to do the pandemic symptom monitoring assessment in the need to do section for 10 consecutive days.
Former Lord President Tun Dr. Mohammed Saleh Abbas was safely buried at the Sheikh Ibrahim Muslim Cemetery in Jalan Pusara at 10:40 a.m. today.
His death was confirmed by As-Salihin Trustee Berhad President and CEO Abdul Aziz Peru Mohammed, who had also confirmed Saleh as testing positive for COVID-19. Mohammed Saleh, 91, who died of pneumonia at 3:20 a.m. today, was transported to the cemetery at about 10:15 a.m. The burial process was handled by some 10 personnel from the Terengganu Health Department who were wearing personal protective equipment.
Welcome back. The government will now allow optical shops to operate during the Movement Control Order with a more stringent Standard Operating Procedure (SOP) in place. Senior Minister for Security Cluster Dato' Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob said the Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs Ministry allowed this after it was satisfied with the proposed SOP presented by the stakeholders.
Association of Malaysian Optometrists President Ahmad Fadullah Fuzal had appealed to the government to allow private optometrists and optical shops to reopen. Meanwhile, the Malaysian Association of Practicing Opticians has also made a similar call, saying that 30% of the people need spectacles, including COVID-19 frontliners.
Power supply to 2 districts in the southern part of Sarawak close to the Malaysia-Indonesia border has been restored on Saturday after it had been disrupted since Wednesday night due to landslides.
Sarawak Energy Berhad in a statement said the supply to Bau district as well as Sematan, Lundu Town and Teluk Melano in Lundu district was restored at 6:37 a.m. following completion of overnight repair works. It said heavy rain last night delayed works to repair the electrical pole and underground cable damaged by the 2 landslides and soil erosion, which affected about 90,000 customers in the districts. According to ACB, the first power line was reported to have tripped at about 11:30 p.m. on Wednesday, followed by the second line at about 10:45 a.m. yesterday.
The Malaysian Meteorological Department, Met Malaysia, has issued a weather alert of heavy rain for several areas in Sabah and Sarawak until Monday.
Met Malaysia, in a statement today, said the affected areas are Kuching, Serian, Samarhan, Sri Aman, Betong, Sarikai, Sibu, Mukah, Bintulu, and Limbang. As for Miri interior areas, namely Subis, Beluru, and Marudi. As for Sabah, the areas are Sipitang, Tenom, Kuala Penyu, Beaufort, Keningau, and Tambunan, the West Coast, Kudat, Telupit, Beluran, and Sandakan. The same is forecast for the Federal Territory of Labuan.
The body of a male victim who fell into the Sarawak River on January 14 has been found near Pangkalan Haji Lajim, Kampung Nombor 6 at around 12 p.m. today. Fire and Rescue Department Bomba said the deceased has been identified as 33-year-old Awangku Sahiful Awangku Sazali by his family members.
According to the statement, Awangku was reported missing after he was swept away by strong river currents at around 12:50 p.m. on January 14. Earlier reports revealed that the deceased fell into the river together with a 27-year-old woman during the incident. The deceased body has since been handed over to the police for further action.
And that concludes our 5 p.m. English news on TVS. Don't forget to tune in for our Nightline at 11:30 p.m. with Cheryl Shamina. My name is Handy Gui. Have a pleasant day.